What is up guys, Kawataka here, and today I'm here with another Battle Spirits deck profile. Today we'll be going over the Witch from Mercury deck from CB27, so this is the deck with the updated cards. This deck only has 2 sets worth of support, but it's actually pretty solid support overall, just because I think Contract Spirits are very strong in general. So let's go right into the deck. So for the main deck, we are running 3 of the Contract Spirit Ariel, so you'll be using one of these in your starting hand, and basically you'll just be able to try to have her on the field, and then you'll be able to contract a Zen onto her whenever you have your Ariels in your hand. And yeah, that's main game plan is just to use this to attack, get some counters, and then build up your Nexuses so that you can increase the level of this card, or the cost of this card, so that you can contact the Zen on top of her with more ease. So yeah, pretty much it. This deck has a lot of draw power as well, just because this card's effect. It also works during the soul state. Is whenever you attack or block, you'll be able to draw a card from the bottom of your deck and then get one counter. So you can build up your counter pretty fast. It's pretty solid, and yeah, being able to contract descend is also really good, because you can contract if your opponent kills it and then you contract descend afterwards, you can still use her to fly out afterwards by paying the cost. So yeah. Next, we are running 3 of the Gundam Ariel Beam Saber. So this one is your searcher of the deck. It works on plate as well as contract descend, and then you'll be able to look at the top 3, search 1, and then ditch. And then the over counter lets you play a Academy Brave or Nexus on the field for free at the beginning of your attack step. So helps you play your characters for a lot less. So it's ideally you want to have this in your opening hand, but if you can, that's fine as well. Next, we have the Gundam Ariel Beam Field. This one lets you contract a Zen as long as you have, on top of 5 or more cost, has to be Academy, but most of your deck is Ariel, so yeah. And then this one just lets you DP deduct on your opponent, and the over counter lets you heal whenever you attack. So pretty strong. We're also running 3 of the Gundam Ariel shield bit or gun bit. This one requires you to be cost 6 and above, so you need to have this and then probably 3 other things on the field in order for you to get it, or you can have it brave onto Soletta and that'll be okay as well. But yeah, this one lets you bottom deck a level 1 and level 2, which is really good, and also combos really well with Delling, which we will also see later on. And the over counter lets you use all your Academy cards in your hand as a magic card flash, and you pretty much just refresh one of your Ariels. So pretty good. So you can use this to attack multiple times, and whenever you attack, in addition to doing the bottom decking, you can also get an extra symbol, which is really nice. And we're also running 3 of the Ariel Rebuild. So this one lets you hit for really big. So whenever you're over contract, or sorry, the first skill just lets you DP deduct, and then also lets you draw. And then the second skill lets you fix the symbol at 3. 2 hits from this will your opponent's dead. What you can do is attack with this, use the over counter to refresh the spirit, and then if you still have your Brave Core, because your Soletta does let you reuse your Brave Core whenever you DP delete something, you can just send an attack with this one again, and then GG. So this one is a potential OTK, so it's pretty good. Actually, for the Soletta, it doesn't even have to require the DP delete. As long as something is removed from the field with your Academy skill, you can do it. So it's pretty good, really, really good. For the bursts, we're only running 3 of the Gundam Ariel versus Michaelis. So this one just activates whenever your opponent attacks, or after their opponent attacks. And this card, as a set card, whenever one of your Ariel is deleted or depleted by your opponent, you can activate the burst immediately. So it's very much like the anime, where whenever Ariel this is pretty much the battle damage version of Aerial. So there's that. And it is a 7 cost card, so you can pretty much add most things onto it. So yeah. Next, for the other card, we're also running 3 of the Libris. So this is a Mirage. Mainly you're going to use it for Mirage. And when it says Mirage, you're mainly going to use this for the cost deduction, because once per turn you can treat one of your Academy units as having 3 costs fulfilled. So it's kind of like the Kusanagi in that sense. And then after that, you can DP deduct opponent's spirit by 4,000, and if it's deducted, then you can pop it. So if you have multiple DP deductions, even really big units can get depleted, so it's pretty good. Main downside is it doesn't really work that well against PS armor. So if you're playing a CB battle, you might have a little bit of a harder time. But as long as you can go into the stronger aerials, you should be fine. For the Braves, we're running 1 of the Suletta Mercury. So this one just lets you, if this card's on the field and you contract Ascend, you can Brave this onto that aerial in the same state. And then obviously the second skill, as I mentioned before, whenever one of your Academy spirits returns or removes one of your opponent's spirits in the field, you can draw a card from your deck, and then once per turn, you can also put a Soul Core back onto your aerial. Next, we're going to be running 3 Mio Mio. Mio Mio activates on both of either player's attack step, and it can't stack. But if you control Suletta, you can target an opposing spirit, and during this turn, your opponent, that spirit can't activate one of the attack or when block effects, and it must attack or block. So it's kind of like challenging them to a duel. So it's pretty good. And then the level 2 skill is during your turn, and once per turn, if a opposing spirit would leave the field due to or opponent's spirit would leave due to your school effects, if you have 5 or less lives, you can put a core to your life, which is a little bit of recovery as well. So there's a bit of recovery, which is what yellow does. So not bad. And we're also running 3 Nikas. Nikas is one of your a card to help you search your deck, and it is a 3 cost, so it works pretty well with this. So you can search up for your Suletta if you don't have it already. And the level 2 skill just prevents your opponent from ending the battle step, which is pretty good. We're also running 4 Daddies, Dueling Run. So this one, this is a really funny card. So the first skill treats all, if you have a Gundam, if your opponent has a Gundam on the field, then all your Nexuses will be treated as a level 2. So this will be treated level 2, these will be all treated as level 2, which is really good because you don't have to waste your cores on them. And the second skill, sorry, if you have a Gundam in your trash or your field, or your opponent has on the field as well. So if you're playing a CB battle, then this is pretty good. But don't worry, if you're playing against a mainstream deck, it's okay, because at the beginning of your attack step, you can treat one of your opponent's spirits as a Gundam. So, you know, in anime, he's like, that is a Gundam. So you can point at your opponent's card and call it a Gundam, and it'll become a Gundam. So that's pretty good. And then the second level 2 skill lets you take 2 cores away from a Gundam on your opponent's field. So you can target it as a Gundam, and then also rip 2 cores away from it, so it can drop back down to a level 2 potentially, or even outright destroy it if it has only 1 core on it. So yeah, dueling is a really strong Nexus. It's also hilarious. Next, we have 2 of which rides the Gundam. So this is another Mirage. We have quite a few Mirages in this deck actually. So this one is on both players' turn, all your Academy cards are treated as a magic card with flash, and they can minus your opponent's DP by 5,000, and if it's 0, it's depleted. So yeah, but they are counted as a 3 cost card with 2 cost reduction, so you do have to pay the cost even if you choose to use it as a flash. And then the other skill, it's the flash skill. You can bottom deck a level 1 or 3 spirit to the deck, and then if you have Gundam Aerial, then this effect cannot be prevented by armor effects. So pretty strong. You can get over PS armor or any other armor in the main sets. We have 2 duels. So duel is another set card. I quite like this card. Once per turn, one of your Academy spirits can target one of your opponent's spirits and just attack it. And then after it's deleted or depleted, then you can draw a card. So if you don't have Miorine or you have other things, you can use this to kind of just challenge him to duel. And then the second skill, the flash skill, lets you deplete one opposing spirit's DP by 8,000, and if it's 0, you delete it. So you can use it offensively or defensively, so quite a flexible card. Next we're running Run, you get 1. If you move forward, you gain 2. I think that's what it's called. And basically this is used as kind of a defensive card. On your opponent's turn, it is treated as a 4 cost. And if you have a Mercury card on your field, this card isn't affected by your opponent's effects. And then pretty much the flash effect just lets you end the attack step, or choose one of your Academy spirits and refresh it. And then yeah, if your opponent's DP is after the battle, if it's deleted, then you can get 2 cores from your void and add it to your life. So pretty good. Last but not least, we're running the Witch from Mercury. So this is a promo. If you don't have this, that's perfectly fine. You can run an extra one of these. But this one, whenever you play a Soletta, you can return this card back to your hand. And then during the flash skill lets you prevent your opponent from attacking or blocking. And if you have a Gundam, then you can choose 2 of your opponent's spirits and they cannot attack or block. So really good. Honestly, I'm still kind of testing out the ratios. Maybe I don't know. The magic ratio is I'm kind of tinkering with right now, but I don't know. I kind of like it, just because there's a lot of cards there's a lot of cards in the game right now that just stop you from stopping the battle phase. So that's why I'm running this at 2. But I do see a lot of top decks just running this at 3. So I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if I sound a little bit choppy. I'm still getting used to the Battle Spirit format for deck profiles. But hopefully this deck will help you out if you're a new player. Again, if you guys, this is the first time watching my Battle Spirit videos, I am a CB player, so I mainly just build decks with the CB sets. So obviously if you use main set cards, you might be able to get a stronger deck. I think some decks out there run Yellow World. At least they did in the first set. I think maybe with the new stuff, you don't really need it, but I think if you open up your pool and use the the main boosters cards, you can pretty much expand your card pool and deck building variety by a lot. But I like the flavor, and this deck is pretty flavorful, mainly aerial based, and aerial is very fun to play. And yeah, watch the anime. The anime is really good as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys like it. This is Karataku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!